Do you confirm that you're still under oath? Say I do.
I do.
Dr. Young, when we adjourned, you were just about to deal with the concluding section of that theme dealing with Ian Pierce, Hunings, and Chippy Sheikh on your page 28 of the document and our page 1103 of that report.
Okay, I just want to read out the first sentence because it's an introduction, an appropriate introduction to the third of these reports. It says, from seized documents referring to this matter, it seems that Chippy Sheikh perhaps wasn't the sole beneficiary of Marion Limited Commission. Hunings later reported that the group around Chippy Sheikh fell out with each other. You know, be that as it may, he certainly wasn't the sole beneficiary because, first of all, it says that it's a group represented by him. And secondly, the third document actually records about 20 different payments out of the Marion account. So it surely was for a group of people.
Anything else on that page?
I think what I've highlighted here is an important point for the record. It starts halfway down the page where it says casseroles might be a link to Medici. Okay, I don't necessarily want, that's just a pointer to the next sentence. I think it is definitely relevant, but it says, but I think that $3 million are too small an amount to satisfy Sheikh and Medici. And I would certainly concur with that. There clearly is an amount of $22 million plus the $3 million, and it would look as though the commissions were paid, let's say, in two different levels. Very last,
I'm sorry, you know, just for my understanding, I'm sitting here and thinking, trying to determine exactly what are we trying to do now. Where are we now? We are reading a document prepared by other people. We're not even sure who those people are. The witness is reading this document and commenting on it. Is that his evidence or not? Because I thought we were at the stage where the witness must testify and give us evidence about what he knows. There's nothing wrong with referring this document, and him trying to analyze this document for us, I'm not quite sure what purpose that is serving. You are the one who's leading him. Maybe try and tell us exactly what you're trying to do, what you're trying to achieve. By reading a document, he doesn't even know who sent the document. He doesn't even know whether this document is a genuine document prepared by the German authorities or not. And what is the purpose of him reading this document to us and trying to interpret it to tell for us? We have the document in front of us. If at the end of the day the document is until it's admitted, we'll be in a position to read it and analyze it. You are the one who's leading it. Maybe tell us exactly what you're trying to achieve by going through this document.
Chair, you'll recall that in starting with the theme that he was dealing with regarding the allegations of corruption with regard to the covettes, the witness indicated that there is information available at his disposal that seeks to establish these allegations. As he starts at paragraph 270 of his statement, he seeks to demonstrate that there are these allegations, the nature of which point to improper conduct on the part of some officials within the DOD who may have improperly influenced the outcome of the procurement of the SDPs. Now, to the extent that the witness alludes to these allegations, this is an attempt by the witness to demonstrate that there is available evidence to support the existence of these allegations, and these documents, the series of 3 documents which come from the German authorities, are intended to give support to the allegations that the witness alludes to with regard to the existence of corruption. It is correct, as the witness has pointed out, these documents were sent to him through a digital device. He believes the documents are from Germany, as he has had some contact with the German investigators. Now, the documents are offered purely in support of the witness's allegations of the existence, I beg your pardon, the witness's contention of the existence of these allegations as investigated by other authorities. Now, whether these documents are admitted, alternatively, whether at the end of the day, the Commission decides as to what veracity or weight it seeks to place on the documents and the evidence as submitted by the witness, we would submit that the purpose of referring to these documents is merely to support the evidence that the witness is tendering regarding the allegations of corruption as they are relevant to the terms of reference of the Commission. It is for that reason I would submit that the witness is referring or reading the passages of the relevant documents.
My own problem is slightly different. I work on the assumption that the authenticity of the documents will be established because the witness said that he is in a position to prove the authenticity of the documents. But assuming that he does, in fact, prove the authenticity of the document, that's not the end of the story. The document, in effect, will be a report of the German investigating authorities, nothing more. Before this forum, it is not evidence. So my problem is, you see, you're reading from this document as if it is evidence before this court, and it is not. Even if it is authentic, it will not be evidence, automatically evidence before this court. And what complicates matters for me is this, and I wouldn't bother that the witness go through this exercise in this fashion. But what bothers me is this. He reads extensively from these documents. And I'm worried about progress this commission is making and the time constraints we have. It's a reality of the matter. And look at the further documents that he's still going to rely on. We have them here. And we are told that there are still further documents that he may still have to use. Now, if he goes along in this fashion, we'll never finish. For an example, since we started this morning, he's been reading from this document, which is an annexure. He's not been reading from his statement. So I'm worried about the manner in which we are going about this issue. And I would maybe propose that in order to resolve this problem, I don't think it would do any harm if the witness refers to the document in support of his evidence. He must go to his statement, because the statement is his real evidence. Then he refers to this document in support of his evidence. But he can refer us to passages in this document and say, see paragraph so-and-so at page so-and-so of this document. Some of the documents are numbered. He can go to the particular numbers and say passages and say, see paragraph so-and-so in this document. Why it becomes necessary for him to quote he can then quote. But literally what he's doing now is to read the whole document into the record. And I don't think this is conducive to the pace at which this commission should be working. Thank you.
May I request that we stand down for a little while I have a discussion with the witness to try and see how we can take this matter forward, taking the concerns of the Chairperson and Commissioner Musi into account.
Maybe before we do that, I think there are other people who've got an interest in this matter, and who I'm sure they're also anxious that we should finish the evidence of this witness as quickly as possible. Let me find out if at all there's any of the councils who wants to comment on this issue before we proceed any further.
Chairman, if I may, from our point of view, as we understand it, it would be essential, if documents of this sort are to be relied upon, if they're to be put in front of the Commission, then some proper attempt has to be made to demonstrate that they have probative value. To put before the Commission documents where the witness declines to identify in any convincing detail the origin of the document or how he came into possession of the document nullifies any possible probative weight that could attach to an anonymous document. All that the Commission has is this witness's ipse dixit as to the significance of the documentation and as to their authenticity, while at the same time he expressly declines to take the Commission into his confidence as to its origins while this is a public inquiry. So we would submit that whilst, of course, all these matters are in the hands of the Commission, and we would not seek to intervene or object if the Commission indicated it wished to hear this documentation, once the Commission does invite us to make a submission as to the status of these documents and whether they should continue to be dealt with in this way, we would respectfully suggest that it is not helpful, it does not add value. Its inevitable consequence is going to be that this witness will be cross-examined on material of which he is not the author, in respect of which he declines to give an authentic version as to how they are in his possession, and which in their own terms are entirely speculative and which are clearly preparatory and non-definitive documentation. So we would suggest from our point of view, Mr. Chairman, that the Commission will not be utilising the time available to best advantage if it continues in this way. And it would really be for my learned friends, the evidence leaders, to suggest a better method than the one that they are presently following.
Chair, and Commissioner Musi, we agree with the submissions that have been made by the learned colleague Cooper, but we also wish to add that the documents that the witness is currently dealing with purports to be a report of an investigation by the German authorities. It would be useful, Chairperson, to establish right up front what the outcome of that investigation was. It's an investigation which took place 8 years ago. And in all probability, that investigation was closed for particular reasons. The second point we wish to mention is that certain people who are mentioned in this report have given evidence before this Commission. The allegations which are contained in this report have never been put to those witnesses. And those allegations which have been put of impropriety, receipt of bribery, have been emphatically denied. So I do not know whether the upshot of this or the anticipated outcome of this is that these witnesses will be recalled to come and deal with these new allegations which appear from a report with absolutely no probative value, in the sense that its provenance or their provenance has not been established. Frankly, Chairperson, I think we are wasting a lot of time. Thank you.
Thanks, Chairperson, Commissioner Musi. I've listened to the submissions made by Advocate Moerane and Cooper. I do agree with their sentiments in as far as the way the certain documents are treated. And maybe it might be difficult, as Advocate Moerane says, that because of the allegations which are now leveled against people who have already given their evidence, whether should they be recalled or not, because of the damage which the document has itself. But I do align myself with the comments already made by the two counsel. Thanks, Chairperson.
I think I heard what Advocate Moerane said, particularly about the outcome of this investigation. I think there is some documentation which tells us exactly what was the end game of some of those investigations that took place in Germany. We know what is the ultimate conclusion of this. I think there is document which deals with that. So should you go through this document making certain allegations, when in actual fact there might be evidence which suggests that these investigations were abandoned? In that case, can I perhaps suggest that all the councils meet together with the evidence leaders and try and suggest a way of how to deal with this matter? And I suppose, Advocate Moerane, you will be privy to that letter that you are referring to, where you said to us that ultimately there was some type of a conclusion of this investigation. Possibly discuss that with the evidence leaders and other councils, and see if there can be a suggestion on how we should go forward with this particular witness. And in order to do that exercise, can we give you 30 minutes and see whether in 30 minutes' time you'll be in a position to come to some type of a suggestion on how to go forward with this matter? Thank you. Then in that case, I see it's 12 o'clock. Can we come back at 12:30? Thank you.